Hello boys and girls, a very good evening and welcome to this live session brought to you by TalentSprint on the SSC CGL and CHSL exams. Please accept my sincere apologies for the delay in start of the session owing to a technical glitch at our end. But I hope it's streaming fine now and we are good to start. Like you all know, in these live sessions, we will be taking up questions from the previous year's papers, right? A lot of previous year's papers are available when it comes to the SSC exams, fortunately. And it is a good strategy to solve these previous papers because it helps you understand what type of questions are being asked. It helps you prepare in that format of 1 hour of exam over 4 sections. And more than anything else, it gives you the confidence that you can solve these questions, right? I mean, like I've always told you, what matters is on the day of the exam, when you walk into the examination center, you should feel good. You should feel happy about what all you have prepared for. And that sets your mindset for the next 1 hour, which really is very, very important. Think of it otherwise, right? When you're walking to the examination center, if you're not very confident, if you're feeling nervous, just because you did not solve the previous year papers, which could have been done, then it spoils the whole atmosphere there, right? I mean, you will not be able to perform at your best. So it's important from that point of view as well. Now, without wasting any more time, let's quickly get started with your questions on quantitative aptitude. We have questions from various topics of arithmetic aptitude, geometry, algebra, trigonometry, and data interpretation. Data interpretation, I'm not sure if I want to take up in these sessions because these are very, very simple questions. We have solved enough on DI already, so you can refer to our videos, but let's try and take up as many questions as possible in the next 1 hour. So let's quickly get started with the first one, which is on your screens now. Now this question is from Profit and Loss. It says a shopkeeper marks his goods. Let me choose the color. Yeah, a shopkeeper marks his goods at 40% more than their cost price. Now here you should understand, before you read the remaining part of the question, the rest of the question, you should make up your mind that the cost price is 100 as usual. I mean, we assume the cost price to be 100. We can take the cost price as 100. Then the mark price will be 140. See, he has marked it up by 40%, right? So 100 becomes 140 and allows a discount of 25% on the mark price. So discount is 25% on the mark price. What is 25% of 140? 35 rupees. Yes or no? 1/4. 1/4 of 140 is 35, which means discount is 35. So what is the selling price? Selling price is mark price minus discount, right? Mark price minus discount. So 140 minus 35 is 105. So I know the selling price is 105. That's it. His gain or loss percent is, see, the costing was 100. And what he earned was 105. He spent 100 rupees, he has got 105. So what is the difference? 5 rupees. Positive. 5 rupees on 100 rupees. 5%. 5 on 100 is 5%. So 5% gain. So a very easy one to start with. Now, while the question is easy, it wouldn't take more than 10 seconds in my view to arrive at the answer. What matters is, are you really solving it in a way that you get the answer in 10 seconds, or you have a different method that takes longer? If yes is the answer there, I mean, if you are following a longer method, then it's time that you improvise your solution, right? Remember, time management is the key, right? 1 hour of time for all the 4 sections, and you have, I mean, if you take average, it is 15 minutes per section, but I know sections like general intelligence and reasoning, English language, general awareness will not take 15 minutes each. It will take much lesser. So you can give a little more time to quantitative aptitude, but at best it can be 20 to 25 minutes. 25 minutes, not more than that. So in 25 minutes you have to attempt 25 questions. 1 minute per question is, while it is good in my view, 1 minute per question is good enough, but you have to be in your highest gear to make sure that you answer all the 25 questions correctly, right? Because certain questions will take longer, more than 1 minute. So the point is, keep it short, cut down the number of steps that you write on paper, and do as much as possible, mentally, without writing steps on paper. The more you write on paper, the more time it takes, right? That's the only thing you have to keep in mind. So with that, let's move to the next question. The next question is from Algebra on your screens now. See what it says. This says x is equal to a plus 1 by a, y equals to a minus 1 by a. Then what is x under root of x power 4 plus y power 4 minus 2 x square y square equal to? So you've been given x, a plus 1 by a, y, a minus 1 by a. Now you can substitute x and y here. A plus 1 by a whole power 4, a minus 1 by a whole power 4 minus 2x square y square, right? But life would become miserable if you do that, because a plus 1 by a whole power 4 is not very easy to simplify. So what instead we would do is maybe simplify this equation first of all. The requirement is x power 4 plus y power 4 minus 2x square y square. But if you observe closely, this is in the form of x square minus y square whole square under root. Yes or no? See, a minus b whole square. What is a minus b whole square formula? A square. So x square square is x power 4 plus b square. Y square square is y power 4 minus 2ab. 2 into a into b. A is x square, b is y square, so 2ab. So actually this boils down to root over x square minus y square whole square. Now this under root and square gets cancelled. So what we finally need to solve for is x square minus y square. X square minus y square. Now x square minus y square can be further simplified as x plus y into x minus y. Yes. X plus y. A plus b into a minus b is a square minus b square. Now why am I doing this? Because I think using this expansion will give you the answer much faster. Now what is x? A plus 1 by a plus y a minus 1 by a. What is x minus y? A plus 1 by a is x minus y minus a plus 1 by a. So what happens? 1 by a minus 1 by a gets cancelled, a minus a gets cancelled. So we have 2a into 1 by a plus 1 by a is 2 by a. 2a into 2 by a. So 2a and a gets cancelled, 2 into 2, 4 is the answer. Option D. Yes or no? Option D, 4 is the answer. But honestly, I am not very happy with this method. Why? Too much of writing. It's boring and it takes a lot of time. And this question can be answered much faster without doing all this drama if you look at it differently. And we have discussed that many times in the past. Let me repeat that. Substitution, algebra and trigonometry are two topics, especially when it comes to the SSC exams, where substitution works in most of the cases. And if it works, then that's the best way to solve the question, right? So how does it really apply here? How do you use substitution? Let me just change the color to show you the substitution. What happens? He says x equals to a plus 1 by a, y equals to a minus 1 by a. Then what is this is the question. Simple. Let me assume, nobody has told this to me, I'm just assuming that a is equal to 1. What happens if you assume a equals to 1? If a is equal to 1, then what will be the value of x? 1 plus 1 by 1, which is equal to 2. What will be the value of y? 1 minus 1 by 1, which is equal to 0. So if a is equal to 1, then x is equal to 2, y equals to 0. That's it. X is 2, y is 0. Substitute here. So what happens? We'll get root over 2 power 4 plus 0 power 4 minus 0. 2x square y square. Since this is 0, this whole term becomes 0. So 0 and 0 anyways. X power 4, 2 power 4, whole, under root 2 power 4. So 16. Square root of 16 is 4, which means the answer should be 4. The answer has to be 4. Now, you cannot directly mark option D as the answer here. Be careful. Don't misunderstand. Just because we have got 4, option D need not be the answer. You have to verify the remaining options as well. How do you verify the remaining options? Simple. See, check all the options. At times what happens? There can be two options which give you the same result. So you have to be careful about that. If I put a equals to 1 here, see whatever value of a has been used in the question, the same value of a has to be used in the options as well. So if I put a equals to 1 here, this becomes 8 by 1 square, which is 8. Now final result is 8, but what I'm looking for is 4. So option A cannot be the answer. Option B definitely cannot be the answer because it is numerically 8, equal to 8 given there. 16a square is what? 16 into 1, which is 16. This also is not equal to 4. So option D has to be the answer. Now you can make it out yourself. Which method you want to follow? The real traditional method, which involves simplification of and usage of those algebraic expressions, or substitution. Having said that, let me tell you, substitution does not work always, but if it works wonders, right? So you should know, you should have that knack of using substitution at the right place, in the right question, at the right time, and make your life simple. So I hope all of you followed option D. 4 is the answer. If you're all clear, I can move to the next question. Please keep me posted through the chat there. Let me know if you're able to follow the solution or not. If there are any questions, I would love to take it up. Waiting for your confirmation before I move to the next question. perfect. I think I can see some chats coming there, so hoping that all of you followed it, and there's nothing complex about it, so I'm sure all of you must have followed. Let's take up the next question, and this one is from geometry. So arithmetic aptitude to algebra to geometry, trying to take a mix from different topics. And here's the question on your screens now. A circle is inscribed in triangle ABC, touching AB at P, BC at Q, AC at R. If AR is 5, RC is 6, and AB is 12, then the perimeter of the triangle ABC is. Now this is an interesting one. In fact, we had solved a similar question, I think, in one of the earlier sessions as well. See what happens here. A circle is inscribed in a triangle ABC. Here's the triangle ABC. A, B, C. Let's draw a circle inside this triangle. Now don't go by my drawing. Assume that this is a circle. Yeah, here's a circle. Now it says the circle touches AB at P. So this point is P. AB, it touches AB at P. It touches BC. BC here at Q. Sorry. It touches BC at Q. And it touches AC at R. AC at R. So these are the points, touch points, PQR, PQR. Now if AR is 5, RC is 6, and AB is 12. AB is this whole length is 12. Right? AB is 12. This length is 12. So this is 5 AR, RC is 6, this is 12. Then the perimeter of triangle ABC. What is the perimeter of the triangle ABC? Now the only point that you all need to remember here is, look at A as an external point from where two tangents have been drawn to a circle. Right? Let's say there is a circle. When you draw tangents from one point, the two tangents from one point towards the circle, let's say this is the point X, and these are the points Y1 and Y2. So what happens? XY1 is one tangent, XY2 is the other tangent. Remember, the length of the two tangents are equal. From a common external point, that's the most important point to be noted here. From a common external point, when you drop tangents on a circle, the length of both the tangents will be equal. Wherever that point on the plane is, right? The length of those two tangents is going to be equal, right? So, having known this, if you consider A as an external point, then AR is one tangent, AP is the other tangent. So if AR is 5, AP should also be 5. So this is 5. Again, out of total 12, if AP is 5, PB should be 7. Yes or no? If this is 5, this has to be 7. 5 plus 7 is 12. Now again, look at B as an external point. From this external point, you are drawing two tangents, BP and BQ. If BP is 7, BQ should be 7. And likewise, from point C, if CR is 6, then CQ should also be 6. That's it. You are done. What is he asking for? Perimeter of triangle ABC. 5 plus 6, 11. 7 plus 6, 13. And 7 plus 5, 12. Or in other words, 5 and 5, 10. 6 and 6, 12. So 10 and 12 is 22. 7 and 7 is 14. 22 and 14 is 36. Option A, 36 centimeter will be the answer. Right? Option A, 36 centimeter is the final answer to this question. I see somebody mentioning that the noise is there. Maybe I turn the AC off. It's making too much of noise, I know. So the answer is 36 centimeters. Simple. From an external point, when you draw two tangents on a circle, the length of both those tangents is same. Yeah. So that's the logic. The same question can be tweaked and presented in a different way. The logic remains the same. Moving on, the next question here is on number theory, right? Let's take this up. Divisibility rules. Something that we had learned as kids in school, right? And maybe forgotten now, but time to revise. We have discussed all the divisibility rules. Let me just remind you guys, all the divisibility rules for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 13, right? Generally, when we are in school, at least in my school, it was taught that you cannot check the divisibility for 7. But later on, after a long time, somehow I figured out there is a method where we can find out the divisibility for 7 as well, right? Or for that matter, 13 or 19, right? There is a rule that can be applied for everything. Maybe it was too complex to be explained when we were kid in the school, as a kid when we were in the school. But then you know the divisibility rules. You must know the divisibility rules up to, generally it is up to 12, 13, 14 is fine. But otherwise also, if you have to check the divisibility by 88, like in this question, or by 72 or by 64 or by 48, you should know how to find out the divisibility, right? How do you check if a number is divisible by 88 or not? How do you check if a number is divisible by 72 or not? How do you find out if the number is divisible by, let's say 45 or not? There's a method that you can follow, and this method has been discussed in our number theory, number systems videos, which are available on YouTube. So please make sure that you go through all these videos and get your basics right. That's the most important part, and then solve such type of questions. So a question on divisibility rules is on your screens here. It says the 8-digit number 2074 x4y2 is divisible by 88. Then what is the value of 4x plus 3y? Now, how do you check the divisibility for 88? Simple. 88 can be expressed as 8 into 11. Now, if a number is divisible by 8 and by 11, then we can conclude that it is divisible by 88 as well. If a number is divisible by 8 as well as 11, then it obviously will be divisible by 88. Now, some of you may have this question in mind. Why only 8 into 11? Why can't we take it as 22 into 4? Why can't we take it as 4 into, 4 into 22 or 22 4, or maybe 44 into 2? The reason why we choose 11 into 8 versus everything else is because 11 and 8 are co-primes. So whenever you are factorizing, you have to ensure that you consider co-primes. It should be factorized in a way that the factors are all, are co-primes. So 8 and 11 are co-primes, and co-primes are numbers where the highest common factor is 1. If you are unable to follow this, don't worry. Go watch our videos, learn that concept, and then apply it here. So I will check for two things. Is the number divisible by 8, number 1, and is it divisible by 11? Based on that, you will be able to find out the values of x and y, and then answer that question here. Now let's start with 8. How do you know if the number is divisible by 8 or not? You have to check the last 3 digits. A number is divisible by 8 if the last 3 digits are divisible by, the number of formed by the last 3 digits is divisible by 8. Now 4y2, this is like 400. In the unit place we have 2. We have to find out what comes in the tens place. Now is 4y2 divisible by 8 or not? What can come in place of y? You know that y can take any value from 0 to 9. In fact, x also can take any value from 0 to 9. Both x and y are between 0 to 9. Yes or no? They are digits, single digits, right? So they can take any value from 0 to 9. Now if you just think about it, 400 is of course divisible by 8. After that, if the number has to end with 2, it has to be more than 400, it has to end with 2, and to be divisible by 8, the number should be 432. See, 400 followed by 408, 416, 424, 432. 432 is divisible by 8, which means y should be equal to 3. Y is equal to 3. Since 432 is divisible by 8, y should be equal to 3. No other value would satisfy that. Yeah. So we have understood that y is equal to 3. Done. Now come back to divisibility for 11. So for this to be divisible by 8, y is 3. How do you check for 11? 11 is that alternate sum wala funda, right? You remember? Let me rewrite the number first. 2074. We have x. Then we have 4. Now I am writing 32. Instead of y2, I am taking 32 because y is known to us. Now how do you know if this number is divisible by 11 or not? You have to check those alternate sums, and based on the difference you can find out what the value of x is. Sums of alternate digits, right? So 2 plus 7 plus x plus 3 and 0 plus 4 plus 4 plus 2. So what is the sum of 2, 7, x and 2? 2 plus 7 is 9, 9 plus x is 9 plus x. 9 plus x plus 2 is 9 plus x plus 3 is 12 plus 6. Or 2 plus 7, 9, 9 plus 3, 12, 12 plus x. So 12 plus x on one side, difference, sum of the other alternating digits, 0 plus 4, 4, 4 plus 4, 8, 8 plus 2, 10. So this number would be divisible by 11 if this difference is divisible by 11. Now 12 plus x difference 10 actually is equal to what? It is 2 plus x divisible by 11. Now tell me, when is 2 plus x divisible by 11? When is 2 plus x divisible by 11? 2 plus x is divisible by 11 if and only if x is equal to 9. So we can conclude x is 9. Yes or no? We can conclude that x is equal to 9. So that's one way of getting the values of x and y. Now that you know x and y, you can find out 4x plus 3y. Now going back, is 3 the only value possible here? we assumed it is yes, 3 is the only value, but somebody has rightly pointed out that 472 is also divisible by 8. So let's see what happens. So if you put, so it can be 3 or it can be 7, right? I mean 472 is also divisible by 8, right? So you take 3 or 7. 472 is 59 times, right? So y can be 7 as well. Y can be 7 as well. So if y is equal to 3, then we got x equals to 9. If y is equal to 7, then what will be the value of x? So if y is equal to 7, what happens? Instead of this 3 here, we'll have 7. Now check. So this will be 2 plus 7, 9. 9 plus x plus 7. 9 plus 7 is 16. 16 plus x. This will be 16 plus x. Yes or no? Instead of 12 plus x, it will be 16 plus x. 16 plus x difference 10. The other sum will anyway remain 10, right? 0 plus 4 plus 4 plus 2. 16 plus x difference 10 is equal to 16 minus 10 is 6. 6 plus x. For 6 plus x to be divisible by 11, x should be equal to 5. 6 plus 5 is divisible by 11, right? X should be equal to 5. So if y is equal to 7, x equals to 5. So let's see what happens. Will both of them give the same result or different results is what we need to check. 4x plus 3y. So if I take case 1 and case 2. In case 1, what happens? 4x plus 3y. 4x is 4 9s is 36. And 4x plus 3y. 4 9s is 36. 3 3s are 9. 36 and 9 is 45. 45 is there in the options, but let's check the other case also. 4x plus 3y when x is equal to 5. 4 5 is 20. 3 7 is 21. 20 plus 21 is 41. 4 into 5 20. 3 into 7 21. 20 plus 21 is 41. Yeah, so the possible answers are 45 and 41. So option C, 45 can be taken as the answer because 41 is not given in the options. Now I know what immediately crosses your mind. What if 41 is also there in the options? Then the question should be treated as wrong, right? I mean, ideally the question should be formed in such a way that it gives you a unique result, right? In this case, yeah, we are getting two different results, but ultimately options have only one possible answer there, 45 out of 45 or 41. So option C, 45 is the answer. But good, I think it's important to verify carefully if there is one or multiple results possible. But this looks to be a anomaly. I mean, generally it doesn't happen. Generally you get a unique, it is framed in such a way that you get a unique solution. Okay. Chalo, moving on, the next question on our screens is from percentages. Let's take that. Here we go. See what it says. The income of A is 50% more than that of B. Income of A is 50% more than that of B. If the income of A is increased by 40%, then income of B is increased by 90%, then the percentage increase in their combined income will be. Percentage increase in their combined income will be. How do you do this? See, since absolute values are not involved, everything is percentage based, right? 50%, 40%, 90%, and here eventually we have to find a percentage increase. So you can always assume that, let's say B is equal to 100. B is 100. If B is 100, what will be A? A is 50% more than B. A is 50% more than B. So if B is 100, A would be 150. Now income of A is increased by 40%. If this A is increased by 40%, so 150 will become 210. Now you should be quick in doing these calculations, right? 150 plus 40% of 150. 40% of 150 is 60. So 150 plus 60 is 210. So if A is increased by 40% and B is increased by 90%, this is an easy increment, right? 100 plus 90% is 190. Sorry, 190, not 190%, 190. Then the percentage increase in their combined income. See, earlier the combined income was 150 plus 100, 250. And now the combined income is 210 plus 190, which is 400. So what is the increment in this combined income is the question. Individual increments were given. What is the overall combined increment is the question. How do you find out percentage increase? Percentage increase, remember, important formula. Percentage increase or decrease is always equal to final value minus initial value by initial value into 100. Or basically difference by initial value into 100. Final minus initial by initial into 100. So what is final? 400. What is initial? 250. So do this 400 minus 250 by 250. The base should always be with respect to the previous value, initial value. So 400 minus 250 is 150. 150 by 250 is like 3 by 5. 3 by 5. 3 by 5 is what percentage? 60%. Option B is the answer. 3 by 5 is 60%. Option B. Please do not go by the amount of time that we are spending here. I'm explaining it to you, so it's taking longer. And I'm like writing too many steps. A lot of these steps can be cut down, right? I mean, I don't have to write A is 100, so B is 150. It's obvious, 100 and 150. If one value is 50% more than the other. And the total is 250. New values, you can do that calculation mentally. Avoid paperwork. I mean, that's the point I'm trying to make, right? Avoid paperwork. If you want to get up to speed in the exam and solve maximum number of questions, you have to just work really fast. Okay. Should we move on? Yeah, Naveen Kumar has got 60 as the answer. I'm sure others also have followed it. Let's take up the next question. This again is from Algebra. See what it says. 8x cube minus 27y cube divided by 2x minus 3y equals ax squared plus bxy plus cy squared. Then what is the value of 2a plus b minus c? It all lies in the observation, right? If you look at it, this 8x cube minus 27y cube, 8x cube minus 27y cube divided by 2x minus 3y. Now try and simplify this. See, 8x cube minus 27y cube is like a cube minus b cube. If you see, 8x cube is like 2x whole cube and 27y cube is 3y whole cube. So is it not like 2x cube minus 3y cube, a cube minus b cube, and a cube minus b cube can be taken as a minus b, which is 2x minus 3y into a square, 2x whole square plus ab, 2x into 3y plus b square, 3y square, divided by whatever 2x minus 3y. So what we have actually done is expanded this a cube minus b cube in the form of a minus b into a square plus ab plus b square. So this 2x minus 3y and 2x minus 3y gets cancelled. So what are we left with? 2x square, which is 4x square, plus this is like 2 into 3, 6xy plus 3y square is 9y square. Now the question says that this division is equal to ax square plus bxy plus cy square, and we have got this as 4x square plus 6xy plus 9y square. Compare these two. Ax square, 4x square. So can I say a is equal to 4? Yes. Bxy is 6xy. So b is equal to 6? Yes. Cy square, 9y square. So c is equal to 9? Yes, that's it. You know all the three values. Whatever has to be calculated can be done now. 2a plus b minus c. 2a is 8 plus b 6. 8 plus 6, 14 minus c. 14 minus 9 is 5. Option B is the answer. Right? Option B, 5 would be the answer. Simple question. And remember this format. I mean, it all lies in expanding one of the other terms such that something gets cancelled and you can express it in the given format. Ax square plus bxy plus cy square. Whatever that might be. Okay. Should we move on? Take up the next question. Yes, let's take up something on averages now, right? Average of 13 numbers. Average of 13 numbers is 80. The average of first 5 numbers is 74.5, and that of next 5 numbers is 82.5. If the 11th number is 6 more than the 12th number and the 12th number is 6 less than the 13th number, what is the average of 11th and the 13th number? Average of 11th and 13th numbers. How do you solve this? See, there are 13 numbers. 1, 2, I mean, these are not the numbers. I'm just putting those 13 numbers. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Again, don't do this in the exam. It's a waste of time. For the sake of explanation, I'm doing this. So he says average of first 5 numbers. Average of all the 13 numbers is 80, by the way. Average of first 5 is 74.5. Average of next 5. The next 5 numbers is 82.5. What are the next 5 numbers? Serial number 6 to serial number 10. 82.5. So serial number 1 to 5 average is 74.5. Serial number 6 to 10 it is 82.5. Then 11 number is 6 more than 12th number and the 12th number is 6 less than 13th number. So it all depends on 13th number, right? Let's assume 13th number is n. If 13th number is n, what is 12th number? The 12th number is 6 less than 13th number. So if 13th number is n, 12th number will be n minus 6. 13th number is n, 12th number would be n minus 6. And now come to the first part of the this sentence. 11th number is 6 more than 12th number. 11th one is 6 more than 12th one. What is 12th one? N minus 6. 6 more than this. So n minus 6 plus 6. 11th number will also be n. You getting it? This is 13th number. This is 6 less. So n minus 6. This 11th number is 6 more than the 12th number. So n minus 6 plus 6 n. So that's it. These are the numbers. Average of first 5, average of next 5, 11, 12th and 13 numbers. And overall the entire set's average is 80. Now what do you do? Simply balance the sum. What is the sum of all the 13 numbers? 13 into 80. Yes or no? If the average of 13 numbers is 80, total sum will be 13 times 80 equals to sum of all the 13 numbers is 13 into 80. This sum should be equal to sum of the first 5 numbers, which is 5 into 74.5, plus the sum of the next 5 numbers, which is 5 into 82.5. Yes or no? So sum of first 5 numbers plus sum of next 5 numbers plus 11 number, 12 number, 13 numbers. So n plus n minus 6 plus n. You getting it? Sum of all the 13 numbers should be equal to sum of first 5 numbers plus sum of next 5 numbers plus 11, 12th and 13 numbers. What is he asking us to find out? Average of 11th number and 13th number. See, 11th number is n, 13th number is n. What is the average of n and n? Average is n. For two equal numbers, the average is the same number, right? 11th number is n, 13th number is also n. Average will be n plus n by 2. Yes or no? Average is going to be n plus n by 2, which is equal to n. So basically, you have to find out what the value of n is. And that can be obtained from this equation. So solve for this equation, you will get the value of n. Solve for this equation. What is 13 times 80? This should be, I'm just seeing is there any cancellation possible? Not really, I guess, right? So just do the sum now. 13 times 80, 800 and 240. This is 1040. 5 into 74.5. I'll take this 5 common. So if you take 5 common, we'll have 74.5 plus 82.5. So that is 150 plus 7, 157. 157 to 5 will be 750 plus 35, 785. So this is 785 plus this is n, 3n minus 6. So basically 3n will be equal to 785 minus 6 is how much? 785 minus 6 is 779. 1040 minus 779 will be 240 plus 21, 261. So what is n equal to? It will be 87 times. Yes or no? 87. Option C is the answer. And like I've been telling you, cut down the useless steps, right? You would not be doing all this on paper. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. If you write on paper, you're not going to get 2 marks for solving this question in such a detail, right? Start with this step directly and solve for n. All right, option 4, 87 is the answer. Moving on. Okay, let's take this. This is on geometry now. Jumping into geometry. The question is on your screens. got the answer? Okay, let's try it out. ABCD is a cyclic quadrilateral whose diagonals intersect at P. If AB equals to BC and angle DBC equals to 70 degrees and angle BAC is 30 degrees, then the measure of PCD. I sometimes wonder why do I read these type of questions, because it makes no sense, right? Reading a question in geometry, you have to just start drawing it. But out of habit, I have this habit of reading the question first. So, I mean, not in the exam, of course. In the exam, you'll directly get onto the work. But here, out of that habit of reading it for you, I read this and then I realize, what am I doing? So let's try and understand this in terms of picture and find out that required angle, PCD. Okay, here we go. So let's say ABCD is a quadrilateral, ABCD. I mean, just consider it like this. I know it looks like a square. Let me try something else. I don't know. That's the problem with geometry, right? You should start in a proper way. Okay, let me take it like this. See what happens. A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D. Now you know your immediate reaction would be that AB and BC should be equal, but here AB and BC don't look equal. Assume that they are equal, right? We are not drawing a map here to be precise. So A, B, C, D are the vertices of this quadrilateral whose diagonals intersect at P. So diagonals intersect at P. So this is one diagonal. Here's the other diagonal. The diagonals intersect at the point P. So this is point P. AB, this side is equal to this side. AB is equal to BC. Now angle DBC, this angle is 70 degrees. And angle BAC, this angle is 30 degrees. So then what is the measure of angle? PCD. What is this angle is the question. Yeah. So two angles have been given to us. Angle DBC and angle BAC. So let's see, how do we solve this? How do we solve for this one? I think the first point is, if you see these two sides are equal. If you consider triangle ABC, in this triangle ABC, AB is equal to BC. If two sides are equal, the opposite angles also have to be equal, right? So if this is 30, this also would be 30. I mean, this part of C will be 30. We have to find the other part of C, but this part would be 30. Yeah. Okay. And if that is the case, then in triangle ABC, the sum of the angles has to be 180, right? So 30 plus 30 is 60, 60 plus 70, 130. So 60 plus 70, 130. So this angle should be 50 degrees. Yes or no? You're getting it? 50 plus 70, 120, 120 plus 30 plus 30, 180. Now if you look at triangle APB, this is 30 and this is 50, so 80, so this should be 100. I don't know how that helps. I'm just trying to find all the possible angles here. We need this angle. What is this angle equal to? Yeah, so if this is 100, this is going to be, it's a straight angle, right? So this is going to be 80, and if this is 80, this is a straight angle, this is going to be 100. This is 100, so this should be 80. Think about it. How do we get angle D? Angle PCD is what we need to find out. Okay, looks like I'm lost. I need your help. That's 80. This is 100. Of course, this would be 80. That's a different story. But we need this segment. How will you get that angle? What am I missing? Okay, I think one thing that we can do is, if you see, it's a cyclic quadrilateral. I'm missing this key point. Cyclic quadrilateral meaning all these four vertices A, B, C, D are lying on the circle. So this is like a circle. Very, very important. And I've taken too much time to solve this, by the way. So this is not a required time, honestly. So if this is cyclic quadrilateral, all the 4 points A, B, C, D lie on a circle. Now if you see, BC is like a chord on the circle, and the angle made by a chord at any point of the circle is same. So if you see angle BAC is 30, then angle BDC will also be 30. So this angle will be 30 degrees. You're getting it? In a circle, if you say this is a circle and here's a chord, the angle made by this chord at any point on the circle will all be equal. All these angles be equal. Angle subtended by this chord, right? Angle subtended by the chord at any point of the circumference of the circle is same. So if BC is a chord, then BAC is 30, he says. If BAC is 30, then for the same chord BC, BDC will also be 30. That's it. Now we need this angle. This is like a triangle, DPC. 130, 130 is gone, so this balance should be 50. So this is 50 degrees. Option B would be the answer. Okay? Option B is the angle for PCD. Alright? Yep. Moving on. Just a second. I seem to have closed the presentation. Yeah. Let's take up the next one now. Next question on your screens now. Try this. Profit and loss again. What does it say? A person sold an article at a loss of 8%. Had he sold it at a gain of 10.5%, he would have received 92.5 more. To gain 12%, he should have sold it for what value is the question. Now, I'm sure all of you can solve this question. All of you will get the right answer. But I want all of you to solve it in just one step. Don't write anything on paper other than that one step that is needed. So I'll give you maybe 30 seconds to try this. Let's see how many of you solve this question in one step. All of you can solve it, but in just one step. Write only one equation on paper to get the answer. Got it? Okay, let me take this up. See what it says. A person sold an article at a loss of 8%. Had he sold it at a gain of 10.5%, he would have received 92.5 more. So to gain 12%, he should have sold it for. Now I'm writing maybe two steps on paper to explain this to you. But otherwise, the only thing that I would do on paper is loss of 8% would mean 92% value. Gain of 10.5% would mean 110.5% value. So 110.5 minus 92 would be 10.5 plus 8, 18.5. So my equation will be this: 18.5% equals to 92.5 rupees. 112 person will be equal to what? That's it. This is called smart solution. This is called smart solution. You know what I'm trying to do here? He sold it at a loss of 8%, meaning the selling price was 92%. Yes. He sold it at a gain of 10.5%, meaning selling price was 110.5%. Yes. Yes or no? If the profit is 10.5%, selling price is 110.5%. If the loss is 8%, selling price will be 92%. 100 minus 8%, 92%. Now, what is the difference of these two selling prices? 92.5. Yes or no? This value and this value, he would have got 92.5 more, meaning 110.5% minus 92%. 110.5 minus 92 is 18.5. That 18.5% is equivalent to 92.5 rupees. Now, to gain 12%, his selling price should be what? His selling price should be 112%. So 112% is equal to what? Are you getting it? 112% will be equal to what? That's it. Cross multiply to get the answer. The question mark should be equal to 112 into 92.5 divided by 18.5. 18 into 5 is 90. 0.5 into 5 is 2.5. So 18.5 into 5 is 92.5. It's 5 times basically. 112 into 5, 560. Option 3 is the answer. Simple, right? I'm sure all of you will solve it. All of you will get 560. But if you start doing that, cost price is 100, so selling price is 92. That detailed solution is not required. You should be playing with percentages. And if you go through our videos on profit and loss, simple and compound interest, we try and solve most of these questions using this knowledge of percentages. That's why I always tell percentage, the concepts of percentage is the key to score more in these exams, right? Effective percentage, the way you do or play with, percentages and their equivalent values, that solves your problem, right? I mean, solves your problem of time management. If you do it any other way, using the formula of selling price, cost price, profit percentage, loss percentage, you'll get the answer. But time, you lose it. You lose it badly. Yeah. So make sure that you don't spend too much time on solving such questions. I think talking about time too much, I am being reminded the time is up. We are supposed to close it at 6, but since we started a little late, let me take a couple of more questions. Yeah. Okay, let's take up the next one from time and distance, maybe. Yeah, I see some question on time and distance here. A and B are traveling towards each other. Try that. A and B are traveling towards each other from the points P and Q respectively. After crossing each other, A and B take 6 1 by 8 and 8 hours respectively to reach their destinations Q and P respectively. If the speed of B is 16.8 kilometers, then the speed of A is what? Now let me tell you, this is a complex question. It's a tough question to solve if you have to follow the step-by-step process. But this is a standard question in competitive exams. It's not asked very frequently, like every exam you have one question of this type, but you should know the shortcut formula. It's a simple shortcut formula that gives you the answer in 10 seconds for this type of questions. Right? I usually don't like to learn shortcut formula by heart or apply shortcut formula for every question, but a few cases, and this is one such case, right, where shortcut is the need, right? Otherwise life gets complicated. I mean, if you have to follow the step-by-step process. So just apply the shortcut formula. We have a video on the shortcut formula. In fact, I think the video also explains you why that shortcut formula. We have done the, working behind that, right? What happens behind the formula is also more important. You should know that as well. So you can refer to that video to know why that formula and things like that. But here, let's just apply the formula to get the answer. So what it actually tells you is that A and B are 2 points, or A and B are 2 persons who are starting from 2 different points, and they're traveling towards each other. Now, interestingly, after crossing each other, so they will cross each other, right? When they're coming towards each other and going to their opposite destinations, they'll cross each other. So after crossing each other, A takes, let's say, TA time, B takes TB time to reach their destinations respectively, right? They're moving towards each other. They cross at one point. From this point onwards, to reach their respective destination, the time is given to you. And that's a special case you have to remember. After crossing, the times are given. and speed of one of them is given. What is the speed of the other person? So there are 4 variables basically: speed of first person, speed of second person, time taken by the first person to reach the destination after crossing the second person, and time taken by the second person to reach his destination after crossing the first person, after the crossing point basically. And the formula is very simple: speed of first person by speed of second person is equal to square root of time taken by second person by time taken by first person. I mean, you know that speed is inversely proportional to time, right? Speed is equal to distance by time. So speed and time are inversely proportional. So generally we say S1 by S2 equals to T2 by T1. If you have to, take a general case of time and distance. S1 by S2 equals to T2 by T1. Or S2 by S1 equals to T1 by T2. But in this case, apply a square root on the time side. So S1 by S2 equals to square root of T2 by T1. Fill the values, do the calculation, and you get 2 marks. So let's try it out. So speed of A by speed of B is equal to time taken by B by time taken by A. These times are times taken after crossing each other, right? So look at this again. A and B are traveling towards each other from the points P and Q. After crossing each other, I am stressing on this. After crossing each other, A and B take so and so times to reach their destinations respectively. If the speed of B is 16.8, what is the speed of? Then the speed of A. The question itself is incomplete here, but speed of A is what we need to find out. So speed of A will be equal to speed of B is how much? 16.8 is equal to square root of time taken by B. See, time taken by B is 8 and time taken by A is 6 1 by 8. So this is 8 and this is 6 1 by 8. Simplify this. So this will be equal to what? 6 1 by 8 is 40, 6 8 is 48, 48 plus 1 49, 49 by 8. So that 8 goes you understand? Denominator is 49 by 8. So that becomes, that 8 goes in the numerator. So 8 into 8, 64 by 49. So this is equal to 8 by 7. That's it. So S by 16.8 or speed of A by 16.8 equals to 8 by 7. So what is the speed of A? Speed of A is 16.8. This is how many times? 14 plus 2.8. So 2.4. 8 into 2.4. 16 plus 3.2. 19.2 has to be the answer. 19.2. Yes, option D. 19.2 is the answer. So remember the shortcut formula. Otherwise, don't try to solve this in the exam. You will take at least, or anyone, I would take like 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes to do it in the proper method. Yeah. So important shortcut formula: when trains or bodies, whatever, 2 persons are crossing each other, their times after crossing each other to reach the destinations are given. Relationship with speed is speed, and relationship between speed and time is speed is inversely proportional to square root of time as a special case. Okay, and I think maybe quickly one last question if you want to try. Let's take something from trigonometry. Yeah. Okay, let's take something from trigonometry. The question is on your screens now. Sin theta minus cos theta plus 1 divided by sin theta plus cos theta plus 1 is equal to what? Now there are different ways of doing it. Either assume theta equals to 45, substitute here theta 45, get the value, numerical value. Substitute the same theta 45 in all the options and see which option is equal to that. Substitution method, regular substitution method. Or try to simplify it using trigonometric identities or whatever you can think of. You getting it? I can put theta equals to 0 everywhere to see what gives us the answer. At least options can be eliminated if you want to try that. For example, let's say theta equals to 0. Assume theta equals to 0 degrees. So what happens? Sin theta minus cos theta. Sin 0 minus cos 0 plus 1 by sin 0 plus cos 0 plus minus 1. So sin 0 is 0, cos 1 is 1 plus 1. So this becomes 0 minus 1 plus 1. So numerator is 0, which means everything is 0 anyways. This is 0 plus 1 minus 1. In fact, this is undefined. 0, 1 minus 1 is 0. 0 by 0. So 0 is not a good substitution, by the way. Which means, see, if it is not defined, then you should not proceed with that idea. So maybe take theta equals to 45. So 1 by root 2 minus 1 by root 2 plus 1, 1 by root 2 plus 1 by root 2 minus 1 and so on. So substitution, we have been doing substitution. Let's try traditionally this time, see what happens. So what I can maybe do is try to rationalize this. Sin theta minus cos theta plus 1 divided by sine theta plus cos theta minus 1 into, let me multiply both numerator and denominator by sine theta plus cos theta plus 1 divided by sine theta plus cos theta plus 1. Yes or no? I'm multiplying both numerator and denominator by sine theta plus cos theta plus 1. So I'm not really changing anything there. But if you observe, the denominator is in the form of a minus b into a plus b. A minus b into a plus b. Maybe this will give the answer. I mean, just trying something randomly. That's why I don't like this addition method. No, you don't know what will eventually lead to the final answer. So substitution you can try and very quickly do the simplifications to check. Let me try this, see what happens. So let's simplify. So what is the denominator? A plus b into a minus b. A square minus b square. So sine theta plus cos theta whole square minus 1 square. Now what is sine theta plus cos theta whole square? Sine square theta plus cos square theta plus 2 sine theta cos theta. So eventually sine square theta plus cos square theta is 1 plus 2 sine theta cos theta minus 1. You're getting it? A plus b into a minus b. So a is this. So a square will be sine theta plus cos theta whole square, which is sine square theta plus cos square theta. Sine square theta plus cos square theta boils down to 1 plus 2ab, 2 sine theta cos theta minus b square minus 1. So plus 1 and minus 1 gets cancelled. Denominator has 2 sine theta cos theta. Now look at the numerator. In the numerator, maybe you want to do sine theta plus 1 minus cos theta, sine theta plus 1 plus cos theta. Again in the form of a plus b into a minus b. So a square minus b square. In this case, a square is sine theta plus 1 whole square and b square is cos theta. So minus cos square theta is there. If that helps. Yeah. Let's see what happens. So sine theta plus 1 whole square. Sine theta plus 1 whole square. So sine square theta plus 1 plus 2 sine theta. You're able to follow. I am doing a plus b into a minus b, a square minus b square. In this case, a is sine theta plus 1. Sine theta plus 1 whole square is sine square theta plus 1 plus 2 sine theta minus cos theta whole square. So now if you see what happens, I have sine square theta plus 2 sine theta minus cos square theta plus 1. Maybe I'll express this 1 as sine square theta plus cos square theta. Yes or no? 1 can be taken as sine square theta plus cos square theta. So this cos square theta minus cos square theta gets cancelled. In the numerator we'll have, so this is equal to what? Sine square theta plus sine square theta. 2 sine square theta plus 2 sine theta divided by 2 sine theta cos theta. I think we should get the answer now. Sine theta gets cancelled. 2 is common, so 2 goes. Sine theta is common, so that goes. So we have sine theta plus 1 by cos theta. Now this can be taken as sine theta by cos theta plus 1 by cos theta. Sine theta by cos theta is tan theta plus 1 by cos theta is secant theta. So tan theta plus secant theta, option A will be the answer. But that's the problem. When you want to do it traditionally, you have to try 1 or 2 things to see how it gets simplified in the form of the given options. If you don't want this headache, practice on your numerical skills, because substitution needs numerical calculation, right? You put sine theta equals to, theta equals to 0, theta equals to 30, 45, 60, 90. Same theta has to be substituted in the options to see which option satisfies the question, right? Sometimes a value of theta can leave you with 2 options. Instead of leaving you with just 1 option, it can leave you with 2 options. Then you have to try with some other value of theta. So that also can become lengthy. But there your numerical skills can come handy. So practice on your numerical skills. I think your calculation ability is very, very important. Otherwise, keep doing this drama of expansion, reduction, algebra, trigonometry, all that. Anyways, with this, I think we'll close the session here. I wish I could solve more questions, but never mind. We'll meet again next week. Also, we have live sessions coming up for your SSC CGL exam. Just ensure that you subscribe to our channel so that you are informed about these live classes at the right time and the videos that we upload, and just keep preparing to the content that we have, right? I would strongly advise you to actually subscribe to the channel, because you will have a structured learning using the channel, right? I mean, playlists are available at subject level. Within each subject, the playlists are available at topic levels. So you have a playlist for time and work, you have a playlist for time and distance, you have a playlist for profit and loss, you have a playlist for trigonometry and so on, for every topic across every subject. And then within each topic, there are playlists at basic questions, playlist for advanced questions, playlist for additional questions for practice, right? So it kind of really gives you not just thousands of videos, but thousands of videos in a structured way, right? So I think a lot of effort has gone into, bringing structure out, and you should make use of this this resource available, right? And it doesn't cost you anything. So just hit the subscribe button and follow us to get notified about upcoming live classes and the videos that we have. On that note, let me close the session here. Before I leave, remember, practice is the only key. So keep practicing and to take very good care of yourselves. Bye.